how did last night change your perspective on the whole thing? It's one of the few days where I actually think this is a rational conversation. Because let's be honest, Warrior games this year, people come in on a Tuesday, and it's like they lost last night. This team stinks. Draymond is cooked, and we have got to do something. He can opt out. It's all over. The era is done. Then 2 nights later, they'll go win, and everyone's like, championship DNA.
They're back, baby.
We're going all the way. And that's what we do, and that's being a fan, and so that's fine. But today is one of those days where I think it's actually a little bit of a rational conversation for 2 reasons. A, you were down 2-0, and now you're up 3-2. So you are, by odds, by all metrics, you are likely to now win this series and move on. But secondarily, you Steve Young'd, man. You remember Steve Young?
Yeah.
When he pulled the monkey off the back right there.
Gets away. He gets away again.
I was at that game.
Lon Simmons, one of the great
so
calls.
Good. But this was the one thing they couldn't do. And they did it. And so now we can remove that from our conversation. Never again can we do what we did yesterday, where we're like, show me the good road win. Well, it happened on April 26th in Sacramento.
Yeah.
There it is.
And I was kind of beating the drum, and I'm not going to blow my own horn, toot. But I was saying that this team has won in the playoffs on the road every single year. So for me, the 11-30 in the regular year, you can go ahead and throw that out. And I was saying this on one of the various radio hits I've done throughout the course of these playoffs.
Damn. Seriously, that's a double drip.
Totally. When you look at their 30 road losses, you can explain away about 20 of them. The opening 5 that they went 0-5 on the road trip, they were in the punch hangover. This team was not the team that we thought they were. And you look at all the games that they've played and lost on the road, you can't explain them away like, oh, there's an excuse for everything. But one thing that I learned about this year in the association is that the majority of the teams in the association, they didn't really care about the regular season.
Well, I mean, that is gonna be a conversation for a different day.
Am I wrong though?
No, like
you got an 8 beating a 1.
No.
A 6 will probably beat a 3. A 7 has a 2 in trouble.
Listen, if it's Nuggets Suns,
Steiny?
if it's Nuggets Suns, Warriors Lakers, I mean, it's an advertisement for who cares about December and November.
That would be 1, 4, 6, 7.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's the way that those teams approached it. It's all veterans. It's load management. Hell, the Suns didn't even really. I mean, how many games did they even play with
8.
KD before they got here?
8.
And then the Lakers and Warriors with not just load management, but openly commenting, Draymond, I didn't even wake up in March. Like, forget November and December. He sunned January, February, and March, too.
He sunned a quarter of the year.
And, I mean, so we are. Tomorrow night, there's a doubleheader. And, oh, by the way, for the first time in the history of the Golden State Warriors organization, they will play a weekday playoff game at 5 o'clock. This is not to be underrated or under-discussed. If you have tickets to the game tomorrow night, you plan now. Figure this out. Call your boss. Come down with a cough. Whatever it is you need to do. Because this is not
a bad cough, though, to where you got COVID.
Oh, no.
It's a fine line now between getting a cough.
All right, come down with a...
Laryngitis
I don't
works,
know,
apparently.
Limp. Yeah, come down with a limp.
Laryngitis.
Laryngitis, that's a good one. That'll get you a couple days off. Anyway, so this is, don't do the, I'm going to go to work and I'll try to get out early, because you won't. Someone's going to pull you into a Zoom. Some meeting's going to go too long.
Look.
You got to figure this out now. If you have tickets to tomorrow night, you should not be working past lunch, period. Steph Curry himself has requested that you think about this and get your butt over to Chase Center with plenty of time so that you can do your duty and be ready to go for game 6.
I usually do that first thing in the morning, but I'm sorry. I got a baby.
Oh, gosh.
Duty is a whole new world.
Yeah. Do we have that one, by the way, guys?
That's
Where's
Steph
the
audio?
Steph one? Bottom left. Yeah, here you go.
Sure, y'all get y'all butts in the seats at 5 o'clock tip off. It's a little early, but everybody get off of work early in the Bay. Let's go.
Hang on a second. I'd like to play that again.
Sure, y'all get y'all butts in the seats at 5 o'clock tip off. It's a little early, but everybody get off of work early in the Bay. Let's go.
Sacramento.
Bay.
Sacramento.
Let's go. I'll write you a note. I'm Steph Curry.
Sacramento's
chef.
Been telling you for a week and a half now that you're snooty, you are elite,
You're soft.
you don't actually care as much as they care, and guess what? They have a little bit of a point.
Except for the third quarter.
Because
Did you see that arena last night?
No.
And I know it's most arenas, but even my lovely supper, we were watching the game at home, and she popped her head up from the laptop, and she goes, "Where is everyone?"
Yep.
And I said, "What?"
Shut them up.
Well, and that's the key. Like, as a road team, you got 4 minutes in the third quarter to make hay with no crowd noise.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
weird.
It is weird. And they did.
And it happens at Chase, too. I'm not
Of
trying to
course it
say
does.
it happens everywhere.
And by the way, yeah, it's not going to look perfect at the start of the game tomorrow. It's not. It should, but but it's probably not. And so sure, it's the first round, and now Fat Cat Warrior fan is thinking we got this thing. Lollygag our way over, all that stuff. Oops, hang on, I got to pay the tab before we make our way over to Chase. Get your act together.
Oh, I thought you were going to swear.
No, get your. I don't.
You
do
owe
that
me
on
one.
the air.
You owe me one.
Get your act together.
act in there.
Get your act in your seat.
Thank you. That's what I thought you were doing.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like just take a moment to maybe zig instead of zagging, because that's what everyone's expecting you to do. Everyone's expecting you to show up with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, with a couple of beers in already, on the
Have
phone,
a beer.
on the phone, and you just got where are our seats? Warriors are down 5. Okay, just why tomorrow night now suddenly feels inevitable. But it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
No, it's not, especially when you look at these 5 games and you realize that the Kings have been more than up for the task. And I think about last night where you mentioned it, Mark, the Warriors, after they fell behind in the first quarter, they got back into it. They got back on top. It felt like they were in control of the game. Fourth quarter, Peyton scores one of his great buckets in the fourth. Halfway through, they go up by 8, and you're thinking, okay, it's time to put some distance. It's time for some night basketball. And then the Kings score. The Kings score again. And then up by 2, Draymond Green throws it away into the backcourt. And Wiggins tries to run it down, but not so fast, my friend. Malik Monk was faster than you, tracks it down, foul.
Not foul. Not foul.
It was a foul.
Oh, my God, Dibs. It's a viral video on the internet. He was absolutely untouched.
Wiggins?
Monk, have you not seen
mauled him.
Oh, God.
Absolute massacre.
I'm not even getting into it. It's so not a foul, but I hear you. In real time, it looked like one because Monk did a great job selling it.
Of course.
He did a great job.
And that's what Monk did. And Monk did that earlier in the game, and GP2 had to come over and apologize to him. Oh, my God. Is his leg going to fall off? And turned out Monk was okay.
Yeah.
Not only was he okay, but he didn't miss another second due to injury.
Yeah. Can I read a few more loons?
Do it.
Loon offers you a toothpick instead of telling you about the food in your teeth.
Nice.
Loon empties your dishwasher. Loon fills your dishwasher. Loon has always got an extra piece of gum. And my favorite of the day so far, come on, Looney, brings donuts to morning meetings.
That's so good. That's so good. Raylord 84, Looney takes Bart on Spare the Air days.
Looney
Which
just
is
takes
perfect.
Bart. That's it. Looney just takes Bart, for sure. Matt Napa, get us going here, Matt. You're on Willard and Dibs. What the hell are you doing, Matt?
I'm just hanging out. First time calling. Thanks for taking my call, guys.
Yeah, man.
Before I jump into it, Dibs, small world. I used to work at Summer Escape in Oakland. I watched your kids grow up. If you're ever up in Napa, let's go play some golf, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, most definitely. So to answer your question, you were asking how the expectations changed since yesterday. You guys played some really good sound yesterday from Draymond early in January about road games versus home games. I think yesterday they kind of demonstrated that they have the ability to adapt to a road situation and get a win when they need to. Not too much of a surprise. So, expectations haven't changed much. Pretty sure most people have this series picked in 5 or 6 Warriors. And so if you do the math, Warriors in 6, that seems about right. And I wanted to circle back. You guys were talking about Giannis and their loss and whether or not it's a failure. And I think I just wanted to frame it a little bit differently, where I think failure is completely dependent on the circumstance. And the question that the reporter asked, to your point, Willard, was a bit of a reductionist question. I think, in a situation like this, it's important to separate, we're playing team sports here, separate the individual from the team. In a situation like Giannis, he very much on an individual level failed the team. He missed a bunch of free throws. And, in the sense that the season was unsuccessful, they're not going to win a championship. In my opinion, it is a failure. And, I was going to ask, how does this compare to the Warriors' 73-win season where they ended up not winning the championship? I think it's very much determined. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Matt, let us jump in here.
Thanks, Matt.
Man. And
good to hear from you, brother.
I think that there's a couple things in there that are important to note. You can totally have the opinion that the Bucks season is a failure. Giannis has no problem with what your opinion is. Giannis has a problem with the fact that somebody else tried to lead him to water and make him drink his opinion. So no one gave Giannis the opportunity to say, what's your opinion? That would have been fine. What is your opinion on how you would label a season that ends this way?
I think it's a failure.
Okay. And then we're in good shape.
Right.
But when someone else puts the label on it
absolutely
and leads Giannis down a path where he has 2 choices and both of them are bad in the social media age, that's what frustrates the guys.
And that, I think, Mark, in a broader sense, is the problem with where we are now in terms of media and public persona in terms of press conferences and Q&A sessions, because the reporter, a lot of times, they're being asked to make something happen, get a response, get a viral clip, be something, be a part of the story. We want you to have a story that's going to be something that will actually pop. So the reporter feels a little bit of pressure to get a reaction. Instead of asking a good, solid journalistic question, which would be, Giannis, tough one, only the 6th team ever to lose as a 1, 2, and 8. How would you characterize this series in terms of, your feelings? How are you feeling after that? Instead, was it a failure, Giannis? Are you a failure?
Right.
Did you choke? Captain G, Big Antetokounmpo? Is that what happened?
Well,
and so I think, Mark, that's partly why people are feeling more distrust toward the media than ever before.
Well, it's one of the reasons I love being in this market, to be honest with you, and living where we do, because in many markets, Boston, Philly, New York, etc., to ask those kinds of questions that are poking and prodding and trying to corner people are considered a sign of strength. They're not. It's actually a sign of weakness. It's you not trusting that you're going to be able to get on the level with whoever you're talking to and actually get an authentic response. And so that's one of the reasons I'm really glad that he kind of framed the conversation the way he did. There's no reason to set the words up for them and set it up that way. Trust that you're going to get a good response. And if you don't, that's what follow-ups are for. What do you think about this season? Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to think about it yet. Just happened 5 minutes ago.
If you chose a word that started with the letter F, what would that be, Giannis? And I'll give you a clue. It's not a 4-letter word.
Farfignugan?
Totally.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
He's not German, but I liked it. I'll give you 3.
I don't know.
Eins,
I don't know
zwei,
where it's
drei.
going to go. Thank you,
Yeah.
Eric.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Big Paul in Fremont. Hey, Big Paul. What are you doing?
Hey, good. How's it going, guys? Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, man.
So, yeah, I'd also like to address the question that you guys posed right before the break. I feel that expectations have not changed, but, given all the different road woes that the Warriors have been experiencing all season and how crucial the game last night was, it was definitely at least some sort of confidence booster last night that they could still get the job done in a in a championship form of sorts. So I think, I don't think the Warriors are taking it as, taking the Kings for granted that they'll win the series no problem now, but at least it's inflated some breath into their lungs so that they don't have to play with their backs against the wall, and that they can still prove to themselves that they can still take care of business when they need to.
Yeah.
So going into game 6 tomorrow, I really feel that they should be able to get the job done. However, I don't think that they'll underestimate the Kings, and eventually I think they'll come out with the win.
Yeah.
And a win with this whole series.
Thanks, Big Paul. Appreciate it.
I think that's all a good way to say it. Here's what I would say.
Okay.
And I know you fans, a lot of you are feeling this way. And I know you don't want to admit it today. But here's the real deal. Can I keep it real for a second?
Please keep it real.
Keep it real.
Because I'm about to keep it real right after you keep it real, because I got something for you.
That's a lot of real. But
be real.
We'll see if we can keep it together. I'm going to keep it real here for a second.
Better rip somebody.
Last night, not likely. Last night, you went to wherever you went to watch the game.
My couch.
And the question in your mind was, are they going to take control of this series? Today, your question is no longer about the series. Once again, your mind, whether rational or not, decided after last night they can win it all again. And that's a fact. It doesn't mean it's rational, but most Warrior fans, I know this, that went through your mind solely based on last night. Last night, can they win on the road? Can they get control of this series? That was what was in your head. Then they won the game, and you immediately went, I don't think I see anybody who can beat them. And the truth of the matter is, it's not just that they won a road game and are now likely to come out of the first round. You are looking at the rest of the NBA and realizing there is no juggernaut. Hell, the Bucks are gone. The Bucks are gone.
Even at that, they were not a juggernaut.
They were not a juggernaut.
There is no juggernaut. Denver is the closest thing,
right,
and they're unproven.
So your
Phoenix
mind
is yet to gel.
Your mind is sitting there today going, oh my God, hang on a second. I've switched from can they beat the Kings to can they win the whole damn thing again.
And should I take parade day off work now to make sure that I can reserve that spot?
What are the NBA final schedules?
Before you get there, Mark,
Okay.
Teams that are up 3-2 in a best of 7, what percentage of time do you think that they win that series?
Oh, boy.
Now, I gave this to you before. Teams up 2-0, they win 92% of the time.
92 point. It was like 93 even.
Well, it was 92.8, but that included best of 5s. When I took out best of 5s and just did best of 7s, it was 92%, 92.2% of the time, the team up 2-0 wins the best of 7. Do you think that the team up 3-2 wins more often than that? Or less often than that?
Less often than 92%?
Yeah, up 3-2. You just got to win 1 or 2 games.
Less.
It's 84%.
Yeah.
84% of teams up 3-2 go on to win in a best of 7. And in fact, last year, the Celtics and Mavericks both recovered from being down 3-2. The Mavericks over the Suns, the Celtics over the Milwaukee Failures. Wait, what happened? Did I swear again?
The NBA Finals will end somewhere between June 9th and June 18th.
Yeah.
June 18th would be Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
And that's a Sunday, right? Is that Father's Day?
Ooh, good question.
Thank you.
That I don't know. June 18th is Father's Day.
Okay.
Yes.
And Father's Day NBA Finals games haven't gone well
They've
for
not
this
gone well.
franchise.
No,
this
no,
franchise.
they're
It's also U.S. Open Day.
Oh, gosh, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.